Okay. And your name is?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Marco Polo. I was born in Italy, and I've been in the United States for 62 years. While living here, I joined the Merchant Marine when I was 17 and a half years old. I served from 1966 to 1968 in the Merchant Marine, and I found myself in Vietnam, and I got to know some Marines. Then I quit the Merchant Marine, where I was making $1,000 a month, and I joined the Marine Corps. 6 months later, I was back in Vietnam as a machine gunner, making $123 a month.
Oh my gosh.
When I went to Vietnam, I had the privilege, I guess you would say. I served with one of the most distinguished battalions in the United States Marine Corps, 19 1st Battalion Night Marines, alias the Walking Dead. And the reason they call us the Walking Dead is because we have 847 names on that wall in Washington, the Vietnam Memorial Wall.
Wow.
And over 3,000 of us were wounded. So it's pretty distinguished. And it was an honor, privilege to serve with them. I'm one of the lucky ones. I came home and I went back in the Merchant Marine. Well, from 1970, 72, in the Merchant Marine, I was going on the way back to Vietnam, was carrying napalm on one of the ships. The ship got hijacked. I jumped in the South China Sea, the Gulf of Siam in 1970, March 14th, because the ship was going to blow up. I was rescued. I came back to the United States. And then after that, I quit the Merchant Marine. I became a deputy sheriff in Belgrade, Florida. I was there for 3 years. That was a hell of an experience.
Yes.
And I'm going to move right along here because otherwise
Yes.
we're here forever. Then after deputy sheriff, I went to Las Vegas, and I was in the casino business for 15 years. I was in Vegas for 6 years. I came to Atlantic City, and I became a pit boss at Resorts International. I had a jitney for about 5 years, and also as a pit boss. I was working both jobs. Then I opened a pizzeria, and after
Atlantic
that,
City or
I'm sorry.
Atlantic City area?
Actually in Pleasantville.
Oh,
And I worked with the mayor. I was on a couple of committees there. What we'd do is we would work with the schools. If the children read books, they would bring the coupons on that we gave them. They could get free
Oh,
pizza
okay.
so the
Oh,
kids
that's
would read
nice.
books. And after that, I got in a really bad car wreck. I was hit to 60 miles an hour,
Yes, okay.
and I went flying through the air. My truck, I landed on a truck. He flipped me over. So for a year and a half, I couldn't go to work because I didn't know how to get to work. I had a lot of problems. And after that, I became a veterans advocate for the last over 20 years. I've been a veterans advocate.
You're very involved in that.
Yes,
Very involved,
and what I do now as a veterans advocate, I help hundreds trying to get their disability, get them in hospitals. I work with congressmen. I work with any politician or representative, whatever they need. And but the biggest, probably one of the three biggest things we did was with our committee, which is represented by not only the federal government, but the state government and local county. I have representatives from all those committees, and I chair that. We built a new clinic in Vineland a few years back, 15,000 square feet. We're in the process of bringing one aboard from Cape May County, 15,000 square feet. And then in the one we're in, the clinic, we're in Northfield right now. We're going to move out of there from 11,200 square feet to 27,000 square feet. And then we're going to join them all together so they specialize in different things.
Okay.
So we're affecting literally thousands and thousands of veterans' lives for the next 20, 30, 40 years.
Is this mainly mental health or all
No, this
whatever
is
they
any
need?
of your disability, your mental health,
Okay.
you get the shots.
Wow.
With all your veterans, the problems they have, they go there.
Okay.
And
Which is
so
great.
physically, mental, and what we're trying to do basically is because in the past, everybody had to go to either Delaware or Philadelphia. We're trying to keep everything here locally, so they go to local doctors, local hospitals. That's what we're trying to do. And we've been very successful, but we still have a long way to go. So then I'm involved in 100 other things. Like right now, we're in the process of building a statue for World War II veterans. I work with an organization called the Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation. It's a group of Marines got together 25 years ago, and no one in the committee gets paid. 98.6% of the money goes to the children. What we do is if anyone gets killed, Iraq, Afghanistan, helicopter crashes, ships, we give each one of the children $30,000 each so they can go to college.
Okay. So if
And
their
so,
parent was killed in action,
yeah, if they're killed in action, you know,
Wow.
it doesn't have to
That's
be
great.
in a field of battle. It can
Right,
be in a helicopter
course.
crash or something. We help their children. We
Wow.
raised over $81 million in the last
Right.
25 years,
Wow,
and none of us
that's
get paid. All the money goes to the children.
Yes.
I work with the suicide. I'm trying to get for the homeless. Anything to do with veterans, I'm involved in.
Yes.
So I don't know what else to say. Now you asked your question.
I know you wanted to speak about the gentleman that saved your life. You want to tell me that? Tell us that story.
Okay, on March 4th, 1969, I was shot in my upper arm. I still have a bullet up there. And then I saw a friend of mine. He was in the stomach. He was screaming. He was shot. And I went over to help him. And an RPG rocket fell right off. Almost blew my arm off. I had pieces of bone, meat all over my face, blood coming out of my ears. So I got out of the killing zone and I'm patching myself up. And when I'm sitting there, this heat is going by my head. Now, I was so nervous. I had a bullet up here. I almost lost my arm. And I had Billy Norton was dead in front of me, a Marine. Smith was dead behind me, beside me, and Sledge was dead behind me. So we were getting help. Johnny Moore, my corpsman from Alabama, he saw a sniper. That heat going by my head with bullets. So he picked up the M16 from a dead Marine, shot the sniper up in a tree. He fell down and killed him. He saved my life.
Wow.
So
Wow, that's
I was medevaced, and I spent 11 months recuperating my wounds. I'm a recipient of 4 Purple Hearts, Presidential Unit Citations, all this other stuff. And so, you know, just and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pay America back, because if I lived 1,000 years, I can never pay America back for all the wonderful things America's given me. And as soon as I got here in America, I started shining shoes. I was selling newspapers in Boston as a little boy. I was 10 years old. By 13, I was working in a pizza place 4 to midnight. I used to sleep in school. The nuns say, let him sleep. They worked all night. They took care of me. So, and then, you know, like I said, I was in a merchant marine. I was on a Marine Corps. I had a pizzeria. I was a deputy sheriff.
Wow.
And so all of these wonderful
Very
opportunities.
fulfilling life.
Nowhere else could have, nowhere else in the world could this happen except in America. And all of that with an 8th grade education. I went back. I got my, you know, my high school diploma and went to college a little bit. But the point is that America allowed me all of these privileges. The biggest thing is, as a little boy in Italy, when you went to a doctor's office or a mayor or somebody, you had to go like with your head down, like, yes, sir. Yeah. Instead, America allowed me the dignity to earn a living for me and my family, so I could stand erect and look at everyone. I could sit across from the President of the United States and be proud of who I am because of what I did to my country. Plus, my uncle was, we were born in the same house in Italy. He did 3 tours of Vietnam. He was killed. So, you know, I just could go on and on and on. Just, I'm really just glad over, you know, I mean, little things that have happened to me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Marco.
Okay.
All right.
No, thank you, and I
Appreciate it.
appreciate you, Professor Bob, for, you know, taking the time from your
Yes.
busy schedule in your lives, and I really
Yes.
appreciate it.
And we'll
I'm
talk
grateful.
more. We'll talk more soon. Thank you.
Absolutely.